Boom. And welcome to another episode of Geek-men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
I am Zombie, and this is It's Frickin' Figures.
It's Frickin' Figures.
Welcome to our humble little toy talk show. If this is your first time joining us, we are the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. Thanks for tuning in. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back.
That's right. You said it.
I am definitely feeling much better as compared to last week.
Right.
And the previous week before that, where I was just completely MIA. So I've got my voice back.
That's always good. Voice back, but not a whole lot of news to talk about.
Well, we'll make it up as we go.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Trust me, I could fill an hour and a half.
How's it going?
Hey, I'll be right out the gate.
Oh, man.
So, how was your week, Dustin? I know I've had a hell of one.
The horrors persist, but so do I. That's my official stance.
I hear that. Well, I'm going to get right into it. What's in the box? Did you get anything or did you open anything?
Nope. Nope. Did not.
Nothing. Okay.
Not a thing.
All right. Well, I'll take over then. So if you would bring up that first share screen that you were laughing at me about. So I did get a package from the Four Horsemen. I got two packages actually. This was in the first one, not the sticker, but I got the foot. So I got my replacement foot for the Sir Gideon.
Nice.
So he's got both his correct feet now. Sell the feet pics.
Yeah.
So I did have this one kind of shoved on there as a temporary. Wow, we got some funky layouts this show.
Come on. There we go.
No, I was just saying I did have an old style foot.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for that replacement, which, Four Horsemen are pretty good about something like that. If you've got a defect with any of their products that you get from them, you can contact them. Emails on their main website, sourcehorseman.com. And if you have your order number, your shipping address, all of that stuff handy, it's best to include that in that first email. That helps expedite that a little bit. Instead of going, hey, I got something broke, include the picture, your original order number, your address for return shipping. They'll take care of you. They're pretty good about that.
Yeah.
So that was the first package. The second package I just got today, actually.
Oh.
So yeah, you should be able to know what it is. I mean,
Oh, yes. Okay, nice.
I've got him in hand now. I have not opened him. I'm probably going to do that, live here tonight. So
All right.
I've got, this is Ganesha. If you didn't watch last week's episode, get that glare on that. That's all the plastic, all it's sealed in already. So he's case fresh. And then I also took advantage and grabbed the what is it, Gaspar the Unamused. So there was
He
a lot
looks
of people,
unamused.
so there's a little bit of a similar style here. There's a theme. He's kind of this monk type character. There's a lot of people saying, oh, well, I'm definitely going to get a couple of these to go alongside with my Ganesha. He just kind of has that look to him,
Yeah.
similar style. I got this, however, for custom means because I need him for parts. He's a really good base-bodied figure. He's on a brand new body, so I'm all about those customs. I had to get him before they sold out. Now, he's still available online. He's not sold out yet completely, but I didn't want to take that chance because I really did need these parts. Let's see. That's so I did get I got another Sir Elijah.
Oh, nice.
Really awesome figure too. I ended up getting a really good deal on this one. I've been trading my butt off trying to get some stuff. And then I also got, I know it's Four Horsemen heavy, but I mean, I can't help it. I'm a fan. Also got another Undead Builder pack. So this has got all those good zombie parts in it. Again, had to get another one for all the stuff that's in it for customs and stuff. So that'll come much later. But I'm glad I went ahead and got it now because some of these are starting to get harder to get a hold of. Some of the retailers are selling out. Is that it? Yeah, I think that was it. That's all I got.
How's it going?
This week. I know sometimes I only get like maybe one or two things, but this week I was really excited, especially for today's box because I got the big boy in.
Yeah, you did. I can't tell you how many times I see something shipping from New Jersey, and it's like, oh, but it never ends up being what I'm hoping it for.
So I did not use because I ordered this the first day of the drop, which was last Saturday. Not this, just this past Saturday, previous Saturday. So I ordered it. It wasn't quite the evening, like the second drop, so it was kind of between the two. And I did not take advantage of the flat rate shipping that they offer. I went ahead and went with the FedEx shipping. So, I mean, that's pretty quick. So to get it within a week of ordering, and again, all the Figura Obscura stuff, when they drop it, all that's in stock. So it's not a pre-order. You don't have to wait a year to get that. Yeah, this is just awesome.
I want you over here. There we go.
Just
That's
great.
insane.
Art. Now, there was another artist that did a lot of this art on this packaging, so it's not just Nate Barch. And the name escapes me. I'm sure it's somewhere here on the box. Yeah. Oh.
That's a pretty fella.
Yeah. We like our pachyderms here on this show. I actually have the older elephants that the Four Horsemen did with the Seventh Kingdom line.
Yeah,
I've got those somewhere. I know I've mentioned that before on the show. The only one I'm missing is the Chalice of Good Enough, that's the pink elephant. And still probably my biggest regret of just passing on that one. And I could have got it, but for whatever reason,
going, Pops?
Yeah. Hey, Pops.
We should hit up Corn Boy. He said he could hook you up with one.
Yeah, he said that was from his personal collection too. But I mean, I'm not gonna pester him over something like that. You know, it's been years since that figure's been released. But wow, look at, I mean, that's a thick tray.
That's a
And
thickin'.
that comes in two parts. And they always do include with their figure obscuras it's like a booklet that gives you, you know, part of the story of whatever character they're doing. Sometimes if it's a short story, like for Mask of the Red Death, that one had the entire story, the entire poem.
Nice.
But yeah, this one's got, you know, cool little artwork in it. Some of the story of Ganesha.
Awesome.
There's his mother and father. So yeah, these are always cool, and they do come with every Figura Obscura release. So these figures aren't just cool toys; they're a learning experience. There's a lot of people that aren't as familiar with some of the characters that you might be, and so far, this is the first one that I wasn't too terribly familiar with.
Yeah.
I knew it from, you know, imagery and stuff like that, but nothing like
Oh
it's
yeah.
crazy. He comes with the
Who
bananas.
wants the nanners?
Nothing, you know, too familiar like I was with Sun Wukong, the Monkey King or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I'd known who that was for a long time, and there was people when people were saying, I don't know who this is, but he looks cool. I'm like, how do you not know who that is? So not everybody is as well read as other people are, but
Oh.
that's okay, you know. And there was people after what was it, the Frankenstein's creature, after that was released, people started hunting down the books, you know, Mary
Yeah.
Shelley's Frankenstein, um, which, you know, hey, that's awesome. There's
sure.
people that outside of the U.S. had no idea who Edgar Allan Poe was because it's not a required reading subject for them in school. You know, that he's an American author, so
Yeah.
you know, people overseas may have never even heard his name spoken before. So when Mask of the Red Death came out, people were, you know, investigating like,
Yeah.
who is this? You know, what is the story? You know, and then they find out, oh, he's wrote a lot of things, you know, so Figura Obscura is always a cool learning experience.
Yeah. Ooh, buddy. Look at that.
Look at that big old belly.
Yeah,
He's got a belly. I
he
love
does.
it. The only thing that I and this is just from a customizer standpoint, the only problem I have currently is these two giant ass holes. I wish there was some plugs to put in these so
Yeah,
that you
for
just
sure.
have these two giant holes in his back because I've been waiting for the Four Horsemen to make this big belly for a long time now. And
Yeah.
they finally do. And it's like, oh, no, you got these big ass holes in the back of his back you got to contend with. Oh, wow. I didn't expect that. The trunk, the pre-posed trunk is soft. Now this
Oh,
one
nice.
isn't the posable one. You can twist it, yeah, but the wired one that's in this secondary tray here.
Nice.
So that's something went flying. I don't know what it was. Oh, it was just twist tie. Of course the scarf here that's wired, so you can get some flowing poses out of that if you wanted to. And then,
Yeah.
oh yeah, the articulation for the ears. Oh, I popped it off. That can happen. I didn't just break it.
Yeah.
It pops back in there. Let me turn him around. Oh, I pulled that one out too.
Oh yeah, that's so cool.
And I do want to point out this has kind of a new. I'm going to pop his head off here. This kind of has a new neck articulation thing. So usually in the past, let me show you one of the. So this is from the Cosmic, and this is a fixed neck. It doesn't have a hinge in it. Nothing. It's just a ball socket sitting on top of the torso. So
Yeah.
this used to be all you got. If you had like a solid torso like this, some of the Knight figures had a detachable neck, but it's still they only had that solid, you know, help me out,
Hey,
ball
Chris.
socket kind of, you know, just
Yeah.
up there. This one has it's a like a dumbbell type of thing.
Oh, okay.
So what they've been doing recently is they've started putting hinges on some of the smaller Knights. They still have
Yeah.
this ball here on top, but there's a hinge. So you get a little bit more movement out of it. But this one, this is the first time they've done something like this, where you get this type of design on some of their necks here, and it's interesting because you still get all of that up and down motion, you know, side to side. But then once you pop them back together, you can also get that head tilt,
Nice.
like that inquisitive type of, yeah. Huh? So yeah, this is really cool, and all of the stuff fell off of him as I'm trying to mess with it here.
Had to be expected.
Yep.
But
And this is you know, first time handling him, seeing how he's made, moving the joints. Oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, he's cool. I can't wait to decorate him with all of his stuff.
yeah.
Look, more feet. Take your snap your screenshots. Free
Snap,
feet,
snap, snap.
free feet pics.
Boy.
And of course, he does come with the extra set of arms that plug into those giant ass holes on his back.
Yeah. Will you
So
use those, do you think?
well, yeah, for to display him how he's supposed to be. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you
Yeah,
sure
I'm
they didn't
definitely.
include plugs?
Yeah, no, there's no plugs. There's the
Oh, yeah.
that ornate headdress, and it
That's awesome.
just goes on. So yeah, very cool. I'm very pleased with this. Very excited to see. There's already been some people that have done some pop and swaps and some really cool stuff. Yeah, no, it is. Abby, have you got yours yet? Did you get yours? I
He
know
got
you
like
said you ordered
6, right?
4. No, I think he said he ordered 4. I don't know. Maybe he went back and ordered more. Who knows? No, yeah, but really cool. You get some more fruit in there. You get the apples to go with your bananas.
He's
With the
got one
green.
so far.
Oh, you got one. Oh, well, you must have ordered them all separately. There's the rat and the extra hands. I love this axe. It's such a cool design. I love that thing.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
He got one so far, but 3 are still incoming.
All right. And then, of course, let's not forget all of those accessories. These fidgety little accessories that some people absolutely hate. Not me, though. I love this shit. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I love this sort of stuff. All these little knickknacks that come with just everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, first impressions, really cool. I can't wait to deck him out with all of his stuff that he came with. I'm not going to do that right now.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I mean, I could, but I'd be forever distracted this entire show.
Yeah, for sure.
um, who knows? Maybe I'll get around to it. Maybe I'll fidget with it when you're talking. Because unlike previous shows, I don't have a ton of pictures to share. I mean, I got a couple, but it's more like, oh, hey, look what I did, sort of thing. I skipped all the toy news, all the toy drama, all that shit. Like I'm like, okay, because the hot topic really is what is everybody going to do about the tariffs? It's a very real concern about very real things, and then people are going, oh wait, this is going to affect toys too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going to affect everything. It's not just toys, So, but yeah, so I just kind of kept my nose off the internet.
But toy drama is so amazing.
I don't want to run you people off.
Yeah, I don't know. So he also said he ordered 2 myself, but others also ordered for me. Okay.
Oh, okay. It's good to have friends.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
All of that ornate sculpture on this piece.
Absolutely stunning.
It's
crazy.
Yeah, the whole thing is amazing. I mean, there isn't an inch of this thing that's not decked out in detail.
Yeah.
He comes with a lot. That's a lot of stuff. I mean, this is probably the most any figure Obscura has come with.
Really?
And the Egyptian gods came with a lot. Yeah, like no, this is probably like top tier. If you love little accessories and stuff, this one you're gonna want to get. There is going to be another drop sometime in May. So if you missed it in April, they're going to put them back up for sale.
I would have figured the Frankenstein one would have been topping it more.
That one probably came with some of the biggest accessories, but I think count wise, if I was to count every individual piece that this thing came with, it probably, I mean, Frankenstein's creature probably comes in close, but just for sheer parts alone, I think Ganesha might have more.
So Abby says, I was in India when it got released, so he made sure he would get a Ganesha. However, blasphemy, mispronouncing, but still.
I saw that. I knew you was on a trip, so I'm like,
Yeah.
It's interesting, the tusks here, because you've got one that's cracked and you've got one that's whole. I was just messing with them, and they're not glued in at all.
Oh, wow.
So I'm wondering if we're going to see some of these parts a little bit later, like this elephant head for another release with maybe 2 complete tusks.
Yeah.
Because there was some people that's like, oh, I wish they would have included that second tusk that wasn't broken or something, but I mean,
plus, it just seems funny to me that like every elephant figure that's ever been released, like I'm talking like Dr. L from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, et cetera, et cetera. There's multiple things. There were even ones in their original line that had broken tusks. Wasn't there?
So if you pay attention, like if you look at a I don't know what you call it, a group of elephants, a herd of elephants, you'll notice their tusks. One of them is always shorter than the other one because just like us, some people are predominantly right-handed or left-handed. Elephants are the same way. They'll favor one side over the other. So one is always a little bit more worn down than the other side. And I point out the Tusk thing where people were saying that because the people that are the most loud about that are the customizers.
Hmm.
But I mean, anybody that knows anybody in 3D printing and sculpting, that's an easy thing to offer, you know. So, but for the character itself, I this is correct, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
so, minor complaints from people that again, they're looking at it like I can see where they're coming from a customizer standpoint. Like you see parts, it's like, oh, okay, I can use that part for this and that part for that. So once you break it down, it's no longer whatever character that this is supposed to be as it's presented.
Yeah.
I kind of walk that fine line. I see both. It's like, oh, I like that. I want that. And then it's like, oh, I need another one because I need those parts.
Well, like you
That's
said, the holes on the back are definitely something
yeah.
they can maybe do something in the future.
So just for me personally, this doesn't matter all that much. If I wanted to, I could fill that stuff in with
Yeah.
some sculpting compound and everything, and they'd be going forever. I wouldn't have to worry about it. And the same thing with the tusk. I could always extend that tusk myself.
Hmm.
Not everybody, has that talent or that skill to be able to sculpt, you know, but for me it's not that big a deal. I'm not that picky. Like
Yeah.
I don't have like if I don't have a part, sometimes I make that part because I need it. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to go out and spend $100 on a figure for that part when it's okay, well, I'll just make that part. It's not that big a deal. Not for me.
Yeah. Oh well.
But anyway, um I'm going to. Oh yeah, it's something I do want to point out. Let me. How did this go back in? Okay, I'm trying to put that in the wrong way. So somebody I noticed pointed out there are empty spots here in the packaging. So there's like a big void right here,
Mm.
and then somebody noticed that there's two things right here. That's just they're empty. There's nothing there. So that makes me wonder, is there going to be, because usually they do they re-release the figure obscuras in different colors
Yeah.
as part of like retailer appreciation waves for their approved retailers. So that makes me wonder if they've got something cooking up maybe for a second version when it comes out. And maybe we'll get a little bit of that pink elephant action going on with the next release. Who knows? So I'll get my pink elephant one way or the other.
Yeah.
um, who knows? I don't have any insider information. It was just something that I noticed. Like I probably wouldn't even notice just sitting here tonight if I had not seen that person post that and ask, "Hey, is something missing?" Because there's empty spots here.
Yeah.
I might not have even paid attention to that live right here tonight, but because I was kind of perusing the forums, so to speak, it's like, oh yeah, that's interesting.
Hey, Grey Wolf. So I don't know. That's cool. Glad you got it.
Yep, and quick too. Like I said, I went with the FedEx version, the shipping option, not version, shipping option. I didn't go with the flat rate shipping, which there's nothing wrong with the flat rate shipping. Um, I have a love hate relationship with the U.S. Postal Service. uh, they're just really slow in my area, and things tend to veer off track a little bit. And I find it annoying enough that I'll pay the extra $5, $6, whatever, to get direct shipping through FedEx and have it in a week.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Not telling you, what to choose. Hell, overnight it if you want. I don't care. It's your money. Um, I just do what I feel is right for me.
Yeah.
But that flat rate shipping, because shipping does change. So I got these two things, and it was like I'm saying only $5 or $6 more than what the flat rate shipping was. you could order 50 figures from them and use that flat rate shipping. It's there, it's available.
Yeah.
So if that's a better option for you, I mean, that makes sense then. It's like, okay, shipping would be, the cost of another figure if I did it this other way. So yeah, of course I'm going to use the flat rate shipping at that point,
Yeah.
But, like I said, your money, do what you want to do.
To each your own. Or as you said
Right.
in the forums earlier, you said, "You're not my dad. I don't have to listen to you."
Yeah, you're not my real dad. Don't tell me what to do.
Right.
Yeah, that was cool. I should have saved that picture because it's actually handy what they posted. So it was a post of all of these little accessories and which arm and ankle and area of the body these are supposed to go on. Because as we said last week, this is a currently worshipped deity. It's not a character of myth or literary works like the other figure obscuras have been. So every little detail when it comes to something like that means something. So, you can put these or any of the other accessories wherever you want on your figure. But if you are one of those types of people that, is a real stickler for the rules, it's like, no, it's supposed to go here. It's supposed to go there. That was a very helpful post. And I did save that picture. I just forgot to upload it so I could share it. I wasn't even going to bring that up, Dustin. But, because it was posted where it was posted, it's a very chaotic group called the Purple Gang on Facebook group.
Yeah.
And I tuned in for one of their shows this past weekend, and chaos is putting it mildly. Like, I half the time didn't know what was going on, and I don't think most of the people on that show knew what was going on either. It was just madness in the truest sense. I mean, people would be talking and they would just cut them off and play this music joke skit thing with AI dancing people in it and everything. It's like, what? So, if you like that kind of comedy, I guess check them out. Don't ask me when they have their shows. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It was just a friend of mine was on that show, so I tuned in. Like, okay, this is weird.
Oh boy.
But
yeah. And see, I thought that was the Cabal, so I didn't even know that it was in a different group because that's how little I pay attention. I just pop on Facebook and scroll, and it's just like, oh hey, look, haha, Eric posted.
Oh, your friend posted on this thread. Maybe you'll like it too.
Right.
Damn algorithm. Can't hide nothing. No. So yeah, I haven't had much time in the way of customizing. So it's like I said, it's been a rough couple of weeks for me. I've been trying to get well, and there's been no shortage of work to do at my job. And I couldn't take off when I was sick because I was already committed to filling in for somebody that had already put in time off months ago. So I was just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
So I have done a few little, a couple little pop and swaps or whatever. So, Dustin, if you will bring this one up, this is that legendary barbarian that you can get at any of the shows that the Four Horsemen are going to be at, or any of their street team, if they have any available. Now, these are one per person. They are strictly limiting this figure to one per person, which makes it very hard to help out your friends if they want one and they can't go to the shows. I was lucky enough to have one of those friends that went to the show that knew a guy that could get me one. And I know that sounds very complicated, but it's not really. So this was actually payment for a commission. So I was very fortunate to get one. But I've altered him So he does not come with all of those cool little extra things that you see here on him, namely the yeah, he's got
I
one
need a
to
friend of a friend of a friend to get me one.
yeah, a friend in need is a friend indeed, as they say. No, I swapped out the belts around the waist.
Hmm.
So he came with like an armored kind of waist piece there. That is actually from the. So I did get an extra Gideon's Heavens brand. So that's the belt, the waist belts here. So this one's not. This one did not come with this figure. This is from something else. I don't remember where. It's from the fodder box. But no, the barbarian has the Gideon's Heavens brand belts on him. The
Nice.
belts hanging down for the loin guard came from the tuberculi.
Hmm.
Almost said tuberculosis. That is not what I had, by the way. um, so yeah, the three dangly little, the groin belts there.
So he's got four dangly things there.
Uh, I mean, if you want to go there, yeah, sure. This piece that came from the tuberculi, and the arm bracers came from the tuberculi because he came
Nice.
with these skinny little things that came originally from the Anubis figure, obscura figure. So I
Okay.
wanted him to have, that a little bit more of that less armored, more barbarian look, and
Okay.
those parts were perfect for it.
Yeah.
Um,
It
I
actually reminds
could
me of He-Man. The,
I I could have gone with the tuberculi waist belts, but they're a little slimmer, and I didn't like that. It made him look like he had an hourglass figure. So I said, no, no, he's getting the Heavens brand belts. That's that. That's the end of that. That's so I did a little alteration to mine, and there's people that are doing, they're committing more towards further alterations to theirs. Hey, I applaud you for that, but
hmm.
I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
I,
So
I
he came
my
with those boots, yeah?
Yeah, yeah, and those boots are new. They look like the type that came on the
Jacob
Jacob
Marley?
Marley,
Yeah.
but they went back and redesigned them. So for Jacob Marley, the articulation, the cut joint is underneath that boot cuff,
Okay.
but on this one, it's above the boot cuff. So
So up here.
it's a new knee that plugs into the boot itself. So
Oh
the
wow.
boot, yeah, the boot is not like
Oh dang.
this piece on Marley and the piece right below it on Marley are two separate pieces. That's where the twisted joint is on the Jacob Marley figures.
Huh.
For this new design, it's above the boot cuff. So this piece is for the knee plugs into it down there, and they did that so they could get a little bit more mileage out of this particular boot style,
Yeah.
because the Marley ones have that fabric sculpted upper calf and kneecap,
Yeah.
and so you can't use that with a figure that's got bare thighs.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why they went back and redesigned that, and I think for the better, because they look great. I mean,
Hmm.
the ones on Jacob Marley look good too, but it's definitely an improvement. And there's also a new foot there. So this foot was we first got this foot in hand from the Legion's Con 2-pack for the one that came with the Gaspar figure. So they came on the lower half dwarf legs that were exclusive to the 2-pack for Legion's Con last year.
Okay.
So that's the same foot.
Hmm.
Um, so it's not the same as the boot that came with the Jacob Marley figure. Even the foot itself, they sculpted a new one for.
Wow.
So yeah, they're constantly improving their stuff now, which I really appreciate as a fan. Because let me
Yeah.
tell you, those first 10 years, the
We're a little
same
rough.
bodies, the
Yeah.
same parts, different paint jobs is fine. They made different characters out of them, but we're getting so many great new parts now
Yeah.
that like it's hard for me to keep up with all the pieces now.
Hmm.
And I love it. I'm not complaining at all
Nope.
because I've said it before, and I'll say it again. These new bodies, these new figures that are coming out now are absolutely fantastic.
Mm.
Like a completely different line now. I mean, you can take this barbarian figure and compare him to the original barbarian that they created, and
Yeah.
this guy can pull off poses that first figure can't, because
Yeah.
they've gone back. They've not only added skin texture to the skin pieces, so they're not just smooth anymore. They've actually got skin texture on them, but they've redesigned the joints so they can get a little bit better range of motion, and it makes a world of difference. The new bodies here, you can put their arms straight down at their sides. Those older barbarians, they always kind of had their, that's about as low as you can make their arms go. You
Yeah.
couldn't make them go flat down by their side. These new bodies can do that. So you don't get that awkward, like, that weird pose.
Arnold Schwarzenegger look.
Yeah. So
I pumped the iron.
If you gave Legions a chance before and you thought they weren't for you or whatever, go back, get some of these newer bodies, give them a try.
Yeah.
This is so the Sir Elijah that I got. Like, I think this is my third one that I've gotten so far. Love this figure. It moves so good, poses so well, and it's got so much potential because there's so many great artists out there that are sculpting heads that you don't have to use the factory heads that they come with, and it transforms it into a whole other character, besides the character that you get in the box, obviously.
Yeah.
There's just so much that you can do with them just by changing the head alone, and I love it. It's fantastic. Excuse me.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely one that I'd like to get, but yeah, I don't know about that. I'm actually, to sort of segue here, I feel like I'm coming to an end with toys. I don't know. It's just...
What are you talking about?
So, heard a report. The new wave of Thundercats is apparently ordered. Well, getting ready to drop. It's been spoiled, I should say. So among them are Lion-O in his full arraignment, or as he was crowned official Lord of Thundercats after he passed the trials and all that stuff. So, I mean, I think that looks great. That looks a great figure. But yeah. Where did the slide go? Did I not bring that over?
So we got a King Lion-O.
Yeah.
King Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats.
And
which looks like a pinless body.
We have this guy. Pharaoh dude that waged war with Mumra, all that. Red Eye. The next Lunatic in the Lunatics. So I'm, definitely interested in that. But at the same time, it was reported that each one of those figures that I just showed you will be $73 each. And the the next wave was supposed to be what they revealed in Toy Collector, which is the Sky Cutter and Vulture-Man. That was supposed to be the next wave, but I haven't heard anything about that yet. Probably because they don't know what to do with the tariffs and trying to import it, because doubt anyone's going to want to pay for a figure on a vehicle that costs way more than what they were intending it to be.
Yeah.
And it's with all the issues I've had that I'm looking at on my desk right now. They're just over here out of frame. With all of the issues that I've had, I don't think I can justify, as much as I love Thundercats, paying $73 for something that I'm going to have to fix myself or submit a return claim or something along those lines, that, or heaven forbid, a paint screw up. And it's like, Jesus, like, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah. No,
it's
for real.
thoroughly discouraging. Plus, this guy, if this were any other figure release, like, I don't know, like when they first got Thundercats and they were talking about hyping everything up to be like, this is going to be the ultimate figure. We're going to throw in accessories and all this other stuff, everything you could possibly want to display them with. This dude has a disc on his chest. He throws that at one point, and I was expecting him to have the accessories of him, the disc in his arm, and how he's like hurling it like a shot putter is hurling, some sort of swinging arm action, like, everything has had in the past. Like Mandora had those swinging boomerang effects and stuff like that, but it's clearly absent here.
So let me ask you this. So you've only shown 3 pictures here.
Yeah.
And you said these were kind of leaked images, so it wasn't officially announced yet. So I know for the most recent waves that they've done an accessory pack that you get if you pre-order the whole wave. So maybe that would come in something like that.
Maybe. If so, then I'm going to definitely be upset, because that's an essential accessory to have with Red Eye. For me, anyway. I don't know about the vast majority, but I don't know.
So not that I'm going to get super political about all of this with the tariffs and everything, but like I said earlier, it's a very real concern, not just for toys, but for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
My personal opinion about it is it's not going to last.
Right.
I can't see this going on forever, and that's just going to be the prices that we all have to pay from now on for our hobbies or whatever it is. Sure, that might be the price that they're projecting right now.
Yes.
But it's ultimately coming down to a waiting game. Who's going to crack first? Who's going to give in first? Is it going to be us or them?
Yeah.
So,
and like you said, China could crack and come to the table, and the tariffs are boom, gone.
Again, a personal opinion here. I don't think China is going to crack, because they're the ones that are making everything. So it's like, yeah, no, you say you're going to do what? Okay, well, we'll just shut this shit down and do something else. We've got the factories. What the fuck are you going to do to us?
We also apparently supply a crap ton of food to China, but I don't know. Who knows? I'm not in I'm not in all the political things.
Yeah, no, neither am I, and I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. I'm just, I did pay attention in economics class, regardless of what anybody else in class thought, how boring it was or whatever. I did kind of pay attention. I had a teacher that kind of made it interesting because he made faces when he talked. So I'm like, okay, who's this goofball? But no, I mean, it's going to come down to who gives in first, and when that happens, then prices are either going to stabilize, they'll come down a little bit, but they're not going to stay like this. They can't. You can't sustain any type of economy like that. You can't just make demands and it happens.
Hard to say.
No,
Hey,
it's
Matt.
it's easy to say. It's just hard to believe for some people, and they get real bent out of shape if you don't agree with their point of view. Which you can have whatever point of view that you like. I don't care. That's
Yeah.
your opinion. Just like I said, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, that's not something that I hold written in stone. That's my belief. It's just that's what I think.
That's right, Matt.
Hey, at least we got one like, right?
Do your likes. Do the likes and shares and all that good stuff.
But
But
no, in all
yeah,
seriousness, yeah, right now it's real scary. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. I
which
mean,
is which is
I look
why I
at look
think
at me. I've got that fucking dragon on order. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen a year from now when that comes due and they're like,
mm,
okay, we got them, but now we don't know what's going to happen with the tariffs a year from now. We don't know
yeah,
a month from now. We don't know what's going to happen next week. You know, all of this might just be water under the bridge by that time.
yeah.
Who knows? So
I imagine.
it's not worth getting so bent out of shape and losing sleep over and stressed out about the $75 upcharge for that. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
Like, I get it. I understand that. Like,
yeah,
I have no problem going, yeah, as cool as that is, as much as I like that, I don't need that. I can let that go.
yeah. But
For
I'm
you,
I'm talking
for
for
you,
me
this is like the line for you. This is like
at the
your
moment.
your
Yeah,
wet dream line, the one you've always wanted.
yeah.
So
I'm
I get the frustration. I do. I'm not discounting that at all.
yeah. No, and it's it's weird because like I don't know. I feel like I was actually talking about this with my mom the other day. She's just like, uh, because I mentioned that I got the that card cataloger thing, right? It's called a card slinger, and you have your magic cards that you put in, and you can calculate up your database and how much you have. Anyway,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
it it's a card slinger. You put your phone on it, and it scans the cards as you're sliding them down this tray,
Okay.
and then it tallies up and it creates a database.
It essentially an
It,
electronic Rolodex.
it is essentially like electronic Rolodex.
That I understand. All right. Look, Gen Xer here. All right. You got to break
Right.
it down for me. Not up
So,
with this newfangled technology.
but so yeah. Anyway, my mom was at my house, and she's just like, "Oh wow!" She sees all the cards I've scanned so far, and she's like, "Oh wow, you have a bunch, and you have a fortune, and you might sell these for your other hobbies." And I'm like, "No, I don't think so." Because I've always, as far as Magic the Gathering goes, every single time I just always gravitate back to it at one point or another in my life, just because I enjoy it. It's something I enjoy doing and playing, and every single person I've talked to that sold their entire collection has said, "Ah, man, I wish I hadn't sold my collection because I had all this cool stuff back in the day."
It's your comfort collection.
Yeah, I don't want to let go of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get
So anyway, so she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Actually, I might." I told her, I was like, "I don't know, I might actually be done with toys before
it's
I'm
easy
done
for
with
somebody to
this."
say that looking in from the outside. It's like,
Yeah,
you sell all this junk. What are you talking
right.
about?
It's just
You don't
pieces
have
of
any money
paper.
for nothing. Like, hey, when the chips are down, I absolutely could sell this shit behind me. I really
Yeah.
could. And I know I would have to, and I would just do it. They would be key pieces that I would probably hang on to. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't sell them all, but I mean, I do what I gotta do. I mean, it's just what it is.
Glad you're having fun. We are too. But I mean, yeah, so I get it. Like, I don't know. So it was just one of those things. I would be more likely to give up on toys before I would give up my Magic cards. Like, that's just how it is at the end of the day. So
I get that. I understand that.
especially with all the things that are going on now, it's all the uncertainty. Like, because I guarantee you that is why the tariffs and stuff is why they've not mentioned anything about the wave that has the vehicle in it, the Sky Cutter, because they don't know what to do yet. And they haven't announced this wave officially because they don't know what to do with it yet.
Here's why I don't think this is going to last very long, because now is peak production time for the holiday season. And that's when a lot of businesses make a lot of money. And that's when the most toys get sold, is preparing for Christmas holidays and stuff. Money is the lubricant that keeps the machine running. Okay, that's what it is. And when you start cutting that lubrication flow off, it starts to hurt. People don't like to hurt. People don't like their money flow interrupted.
Right.
That's why I don't think this is going to last very long.
Yeah.
You can quote me on that if you want to. Timestamp this shit, okay? I may not look very smart, but I know a thing or two, okay? I'm just saying, I don't think this is going to last very long. So all of these people that are out there getting butt hurt because I can't afford my toys anymore. This is an outrage. Sit down, Chuck. All right. It'll balance out. Trust.
Someone commented before I came in to this space here, and they were commenting about how this is going to affect your dildo and
oh
all that kind of situation as they import toys and stuff. And hey, how's it going?
Yes.
And
Road Pig John.
What he says? People like lube. Timestamp.
Your dildo collection. Right. Oh my God! This is us now. What?
Well, it's just funny because they mentioned that they're like, well, yeah, you can't collect toys, and all your pocket fun toys are gonna be by the wayside. It's just like,
I mean, it's a very real issue that's affecting people right now, and this the type of thing that makes or breaks independent creators. It's a very serious thing. You know, we're laughing, we're cutting up, and we're joking about it right now. But you know, I do want to point out the guy that made the biblical adventure line that they're trying to fulfill right now. He got hit with a massive fee that just came out of nowhere. You know, I mean, it was something to the tune of $25,000 or something like that, on top of everything that was already paid for, and that came from the tariffs. Jeez. So he got really lucky because it happened a couple of days before the 145% tariff tax got added on. So it could have been much more.
Yeah.
So now he's scrambling, trying to figure out how, you know, what am I going to do to cover this? Like, he has sold a lot of his personal collections, you know, stuff like we've got behind us. You know, he's selling off stuff like that. He's, you know, people are sending him donations and stuff, you know, but he's up to the price to the product that he already has in hand to sell at shows, to try and help make up that difference. So it's a very real thing. Yeah. You know, if you're an independent creator and you've got stuff being made overseas right now, yeah, I'm sure you're sweating bullets with every given right that you should be, you know, because you got people that are outside of your circle controlling things that are beyond your control, that are affecting your product, your price point, your way of life at this point, especially if you've sunk a lot of your personal life savings to get it off the ground.
Yeah.
Not discounting that at all.
Yeah, for sure.
My heart goes out to you, and it sucks, and I get it, but I'm still standing behind this. Isn't going to last for very long.
Yeah.
It cannot.
Yeah. Well, now that I've sucked the fun out of it. Oh man, yeah, I don't know. And we're not a political show, so we're not going to get all into the deep and dives. If there's shows out there, like Three Beer Men on Sunday nights on our network, you can go there. There's lots of other places. Just see in the end credits. There's plenty of people that will indulge your political itch if you want to talk
Yeah,
politics and stuff
you
like
come
that.
here and start bombarding our comments with stuff like that. We're just going to ignore it.
Yeah, right. One, I probably won't
We're not
understand
that
half of
kind
it.
of show. Yeah, no, it's
It's just like, oh, sure, whatever you say.
I mean, we've
No.
crossed that line a couple of times, but
Yeah,
not we didn't go off the deep end like some people can,
yeah,
and that's I don't enjoy doing that. I don't like that. I don't. You can believe whatever you want to believe, and that'd be it. Just don't force that belief on me because I might believe something different. I'm
yeah,
not. I'm not like that. I
yeah,
don't want that done to me, so I don't do it to people.
yeah.
But
Very real.
there's people out there like some of the people that we've interviewed, from the realm.
Yeah,
They still haven't done their Kickstarter, so I'm sure they're going to postpone it to let all this heat die off to see where
yeah,
it's going to land. Because there's a lot of stuff that's up in the air. They're still doing shows showing all the cool stuff that they've got planned for their vampires, and maybe a couple of sneak peeks for what they've got coming up after that.
right.
And then the brutal realm guys who are already in the tooling phase and all that. I'm sure they're worried about that. It's like,
Yeah,
oh my god, what are we gonna do? Because their price point was so good, so under what you think something like that would cost to begin with.
right.
Now, if this stuff stands, if all the tariffs stay the way they are, or even get worse, I can't see how people like that are going to be able to fulfill what they've promised.
Right.
It's just, I imagine it's a nightmare for the creators right now to be dealing with.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the other companies like Hasbro and all that shit because
Yeah, no, Hasbro,
before it even happened, the Hasbro was like, yeah, we're actually going to look into like leasing out our properties to other companies. We're not going to make stuff anymore. We're just going to let other people do it. Like, yeah, suck a fat one, Hasbro. I've got no sympathy for your ass. You're a
same.
multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah,
Whatever.
the people we feel bad and are worried for are people like Brutal Realm and people like Ace, from Ramen Toy, and
Yes.
good genuinely good people that are just into making toys and trying to bring the of best products to fruition. Like
Yeah, the indie creators are the ones that are really going to suffer the most from this. Consumers like us, we just deal with it. It's like, okay, well, I got to pay a little extra for something, I guess, But the creators, the ones that are putting their time and effort and their money into something like this,
and
my heart goes out to you people. It
yeah,
really
because I mean, we always have the option to pass. Like
Yeah,
I'm seriously contemplating with this upcoming wave of Thundercats, like Super 7. You've done me wrong too many times before. I don't know if I can justify that $75 price point on a
see,
regular figure.
I get why you're worried about that. I'm not worried about that because eventually that stuff goes on clearance somewhere anyway. So
I've
you
never
might not
seen it.
get it. You might not get it when it comes out, but it'll be out there.
Yeah, so Abby says everyone's suffering. Creators bring up the price to cover the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
The consumer now has to choose to purchase or not. Exactly, which
Right.
ultimately hurts the numbers. If Like there's a certain
Yeah.
number that needs to be met before, you know.
Yeah, I mean, as a consumer, let me try to reiterate more of what I mean. What message I was trying to convey there was, as a consumer, if you decide not to buy that, it's like, okay, my commitment's done with it, you know. But for the creator itself, they're still in it.
Right.
They're still financially burdened with that extra price. So you know, it's almost like as a consumer, not knowing how the industry works and the makings of everything, it's easy to go, well, I mean, you know, I can live without that. It's no big deal. I won't buy that, you know, and then that's
Yeah.
it. Your worry's over. You look to the next things like, okay, well, you know, well, what is the next thing? What am I looking for? But that creator is still stuck holding the bill.
Yeah.
That's what I have a problem with. That's what I don't like.
Yeah. For sure. Anyway. Okay, so he says these tariffs stay around, many small creators are going to fold, and I hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's.
I mean, it happened with COVID. There was a lot of
Yeah.
small businesses went out of business because you know they were locked down. Like, oh no, you can't go out in public. You can't do this and you can't do that. So there was a lot of
Right.
small business suffered and eventually went out of business for it. They
Mm-hmm.
couldn't survive. They couldn't do it. That's why I don't think these tariffs are going to last very long. It would affect too much.
Yeah. No, I hope it's not the case, but you know, sending out our good vibes for all the folks and all that are dealing with this headache. But you know, after all, it is just toys. I mean, it may be a dream, but you know, who doesn't have a dream? That's
Well, that's a very consumer thing to say, though. That's kind of what I was trying to make the point as, you know, as a consumer, to us, it's just toys, take it or leave it. But for those creators, that's therein lies the problem.
yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it is life, but yeah, yeah, it's life, it's earnings. Let's see. Oh wait, no, nah. Matt Pop says U.S. production. Laughing Rogue gets stuff printed right here at home. It gets it quick. It's quality. Sure, there are figure designers too here. F China. Pop says.
Yeah, and there are designers and artists here, yeah,
Yeah.
but it also, you know, where are you going to get your materials to do that stuff? You know, I mean, I completely get what you're saying, but it wouldn't really be any cheaper for something like that to happen. Again, it comes from, you know, where are you going to get your supply for materials from? It would be, in a perfect world, would be great if we had the factories here in the U.S. to do stuff like that, but then because of the prices that you would have to pay in materials and all of that, it kind of balances itself out in a way, but it's not really going to be any cheaper. Even so, like for instance, for 3D printers and all
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff, that resin and everything that still comes from places like China and things like that. So that's even going to affect like the aftermarket people that make all those cool little pieces that, you know, people sell. It's going to start affecting people that, you know, run their little business side kind of hustle like that with the 3D printing. So that's why I say it's going to come to a head eventually, and I think sooner than later.
Yeah. Hopefully. So, Avi says, USA can definitely handle this in the long term, but a regular Hasbro would be like 55 or 65. No one will
Yeah,
want to buy it.
and
Right.
that's compared to what they are right now, which is anywhere between, I think, like $22 to $25. So
Yeah.
you're looking at a threefold price increase.
And that's not including their deluxe or whatever they're calling the
Yeah,
ultimate
yeah,
line, the 50, what is it, 50 some dollar Spider-Man
yeah.
and Incredible Hulk that would probably go up to like 80. and you're talking import figure prices at that point, which import figure prices in general.
Well, past import prices
Yeah,
now.
past import prices. Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's even import companies like, yeah, we're going to stop production and wait for this to simmer down. So even they over there are going, all right, shut this shit down right now.
Yeah.
So
At 25, sales have dropped substantially. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
for sure.
Think about it. When Marvel Legends first came out, they were like $10-$12 depending on where you went, and the prices slowly crept up over the years, which that's going to happen anyway. Due to inflation and things like that, the value of the dollar decreasing, and it's going to happen, and we'll never see those prices again for those kind of things. It's just that's not how it works. Prices go up, they don't go down.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I don't know, but
yeah, no, I see where he's coming from too. His other comment: people spending $100 on a figure that costs $5 to make in China, tired of it. Yeah, no, and that's because labor is much cheaper over there. So cost of materials, that's where everything is. So if you're over there spending our money to get it, it's not going to cost you what it costs over here. But people that live over there that buy stuff from an American company, they have to pay through the nose. They have to, it's like, well, why can't we just, before it leaves the country, why can't you just ship it direct to us? And they can't do that because of laws and all that kind of shit. So they ship it over here and then they got to ship it back. So they got to pay twice as much already before all this tariff crap happened.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like fun. And I don't want to cut it off too early, but I do think we should cut it off here. I feel like this is a good bounds in which I particularly like to have our conversations not stretch limits, but
I mean,
these companies need to make 50 to 60% profit margins in order to sustain.
Companies. No, and it's at the end of the day, it's people trying to make money to survive on, and we've interviewed plenty of the independent creators. Like, we're not making a whole lot of money off of this. We're kind of almost breaking even. And I think one of them we interviewed even said, no, I'm losing money on this. So, I mean,
I think that was Ace. He even said that. He said, we're actually losing money on that.
Those are the people that I feel for the most, because they feel it a lot more than we do as, as the consumer, as the end of the line here of, okay, well, I paid for it. Now it's in my hands.
Yeah.
It's those creators that I really feel for right now. But no, I've said what I've said. Take it or leave it. I don't care.
Ace is a good dude. Yep. He has a great diorama stuff, and he's got great vehicles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The Musk. But good stuff all around. We'll be hopefully interviewing more indie creators, so on and so forth on the show. I mean, that's our core belief. So we're, going to stand by that still, even amidst this difficulty for everyone. But
and we're going to try to get some of those past people that we've had on back to even, if they're willing to talk about it, see how that's affecting them, so that we can have that part of the story. Because I mean, I find stuff like that interesting, the stuff that maybe you don't know what goes on behind the scenes with the production of the stuff that you buy, that you're into, that you like, so to have that part of the story might give you a different view on it.
Yep, that's right. But so I don't have the other icon, but wait, yes, I do. Haha. Okay, So this Friday, nope. First, we're going to do Tuesday because that's the next day that comes in the week. Going to be doing another Joy of Drawing with Addie. We're going to be talking about her indie comic thing that she has going on, and it has its own Facebook page and stuff like that. So we're going to be talking about that. I'm interested to get some more info behind that. And where did my thing go? Good grief! No. Where? There we go. Okay, and then Friday we'll be talking The Town and 13 Assassins. We weren't able to. Honestly, where did the stuff go? All right. Well, anyway, I guess I lost. Here we go.
I got Thanos snapped.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell happened?
I was confused. Yet. I was confused, and I'm like looking, like, what the heck? Where is everything? But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we didn't get to talk about The Town or 13 Assassins last week. We had side quests that we had to go on and just got totally swept away in it all. And so we're hoping to just come back and revisit those movies, and we'll give you the scoop and what we feel about them. So that's first ever that's happened. But yeah. You're still not going to be on a side quest, right? You won't be here for Friday?
Friday, yeah. No,
yeah. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Always a super busy month for me, professionally with what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going through a lot of transition stuff right now. So it's really hairy for me to try and schedule a whole bunch of stuff. So unfortunately, I will not be here Friday.
Yeah. I figured as much, and I obviously not demanding you be here or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to mean, but yeah, so you will still be on a side quest. It's all good. And what was I going to do next? We have I think this Thursday we'll be headed back to Slaughterville with Chris Brown and Levi and all those other good folks, and we'll be talking up in it. We're starting a new segment in the campaign. So that'll be fun. And I'm excited about that. Got my dice ready, my dice tower ready, and I'm ready to go. So join us. I usually make a fool out of myself trying to shoot wolves and zombies and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, so let's join us and let's have some fun. But yeah, until next time, Zombie, you want to have any last words to say?
Nope, that's it.
That's all, folks. Thunder Nerds ho.
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and